everyone, and welcome to the BrainYield podcast. I am your host, Vab, and this is
The Guy.
The Guy.
The Guy.
On today's podcast, Building During the Bear. How are you doing, the guy?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I want to share with our audience, this is take 3 of this episode.
I can't do this shit right now. My mind's not in it.
Okay.
You want to talk about it?
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's make this episode a...
I mean, aside from the fact that it is take 3. Okay. All right. And this is the third time trying to record the episode.
I swear to you.
So, I mean, whatever. I mean, but honestly, my mind's not in it right now. I'm kind of sad.
Oh, okay.
Not because, we've had to record the episode 3 times, but just because, I just finished watching the GameStop documentary.
Okay.
And,
I haven't watched it, so.
And it's, the whole GameStop thing also happened, during the bull market, too, in crypto. It was, these 2 things were happening in parallel. And I just was thinking, because one of the things that they said in the documentary was that at the time when it was happening on the news, it was being described as Occupy Wall Street 2.0.
Yeah.
It was being called the French Revolution of Finance.
Yeah.
And I just got so sad because that's not the French Revolution of Finance.
So what is the French Revolution of Finance, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the French Revolution of Finance is Bitcoin.
Okay.
And it's so sad for me because I know that just from the Wall Street Bets community, they're not very big on crypto. They don't really respect Bitcoin. They think it's a joke. For the most part, I'm sure there's some people that don't think that way, but I know a lot of them do.
Well, hold on, because that's what you got from watching this documentary, correct?
Yeah.
Have you dived into the Wall Street Bets forums?
I have. I mean, I just literally finished watching the documentary 30 minutes ago.
I'm just saying it's possible. Hold on. It's possible that maybe there is love for Bitcoin within that forum.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm generalizing.
Okay.
From what I remember, last year.
Yeah.
2021. And I remember there was a big, rivalry between the Wall Street Bets people and crypto, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I do remember that. So, I don't know if it's still that way, or I don't think that has changed, especially since there's not much excitement in the market and we're in a bear. So I don't think that really has changed all that much. And it just makes me sad, because the outcome that people are looking for, everybody that participated in the GameStop frenzy, it was about trying to change the status quo. I mean, that was the underlying thing. Let's do it together. It was a collective effort. Same
thing as Occupy Wall Street. That's how it started.
Yeah, sure. It's just
change the status quo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's part of an ongoing narrative that our generation is probably going to be dealing with for the rest of our lives. But for me, it's just sad because I know that the outcome that everybody's looking for is the disruption of the establishment. And that's just never going to come, in my opinion. It's never going to come by trying to do it from the inside, by trading inside the system, by investing inside the system, by trying to change the system from within the system. I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think there's going to be any kind of change to the status quo in that way.
So to you, change can only come if we try to fight from within the system. And using Bitcoin is... Okay. I just want to understand your point.
Okay.
So the issue here is that Wall Street Bets was trying to change the status quo by using the system.
Right.
And the only way of doing it, truly, is if you leave the system.
Well, look what happened, right?
Okay, go ahead.
They did a great job, okay? They short squeezed GME.
Okay.
They've, almost bankrupted a hedge fund. And then at the end of the day, what happened? Citadel made a phone call to Robinhood and they halted trading. And that's it, right? End of story.
What's interesting is I wonder how many of these clients are still with Robinhood. How many of the Wall Street Bet people
I'm sure a lot of them are.
Robinhood? And
it's also sad.
Using Robinhood.
It's also sad because that level of participation that particular trade had, if we could get that many people excited about crypto, then we could really make a difference. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, I'm sure there's many, people are just not ready to do that yet, I guess. I guess it's because we're still too early.
Well, maybe there is...
See, we're not ready to rally around the thing, the vehicle that can actually make change.
I think, though, that there's a lot of internal fights with Bitcoiners and...
And also, that was my second point, that it also saddens me, because even inside of crypto itself, we have this great schism, right? We have this schism between all the different clans, and it really puts at risk the survival of the underlying mission.
And what's the underlying mission?
The underlying mission is to get rid of the petrodollar standard, so that we can have political agency. We could put the reins of political agency back into the hands of the people of Earth.
Can you explain what the petrodollar is to our audience?
That's too much right now. I don't think we should get into what the petrodollar is.
If you can do it in 2 sentences.
Just understand the dollar is the world's reserve currency in all trade. Not anymore. I mean, that is changing. There is a trend to de-dollarize, especially in Asia, but it just means that trade and at the state level, like nation state level, accounts are denominated in dollars, and that gives the U.S. government incredible power. And it's a standard that is not backed by anything. It's not backed by anything other than men with guns, and it's causing a lot of pain and injustice in the world, and we need to get rid of it. And that's the underlying mission. That's why Bitcoin was invented. So, yeah. I mean, it's funny because today's episode is about the bear market, right? It's like building in the bear market, and it's tough. It's tough, and it saddens me sometimes because I've been in this for a long time.
What would you say, I'm curious to ask, what would you say to those that are listening that say, we're on?
Take 4. Okay? Take 4, folks. Jeez.
It turns out the reason why we've been having issues is that my phone is basically full.
So for just a little bit of context, we just finished like a 40-minute podcast episode, and when we went to go check the file, only 7 minutes were recorded. So we're going to pick it up from here and try to recreate that conversation somehow for the 4th time.
I am so sorry, y'all. My phone is full. And I didn't notice, and it only picked up 7 minutes out of the 40-something minutes of recording. And if you create podcasts, you know what we're going through right now. And this is take 4 of this episode that I just want to make sure we do it.
Okay, let's just do it.
Okay.
Let's just do it already.
At 7 minutes of the recording, we were going back and discussing how there's this back and forth happening between the Bitcoin community, Cardano, ETH, and we're all fighting each other. And this division is actually creating harm for the Bitcoin standard to happen, for the paradigm shift to actually take place.
Right.
So what do you think needs to happen here for us to unite? If
I remember correctly, I think what I said was that we all need to rally around one standard.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And standard in the sense of a set of rules or guidelines, but also just a banner, a flag. Yes. The standard is a synonym for a flag. And we need to rally around this flag. And that flag is Bitcoin because it's the foundational collateral layer. It's the gold standard that we can build an alternative financial system on top of.
Yeah.
So I think what I said was that we have to end the schism and rally around the standard and then build on top of it. And I don't know the future, right? Nobody does. So maybe there's a place for all these blockchains in this future alternative financial system. They can, definitely. Maybe there's definitely going to be attrition too. I mean, not all of them are going to make it. We don't need 1,000 blockchains either. Yeah. That's also not necessary. But we can have many of them exist. It can be a polychain world, but we all need to stand on top of that foundational stone of the new money. And that's really important if we're going to have any type of change happen.
I went to the Bitcoin conference this year. I know you also attended. And in one of the workshops, one of the rooms, the presenter was saying something to the effect of, the reason why adoption hasn't taken place at a faster rate is because of the shitcoins, is because of the altcoins. We have to just have Bitcoin, rally around Bitcoin, and that's it. Because everything else is just noise. What do you say to those who look at you and tell you, okay, are you truly a Bitcoiner? Because if you are a Bitcoiner, why are you investing in these other out projects? What do you say to them?
I say that I think you can be a Bitcoiner and invest in whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, those things are not mutually exclusive. You can be a Bitcoiner and invest in whatever you like. Invest in real estate, invest in stocks, invest in altcoins, invest in whatever you want to, but save your money in Bitcoin. Take your profits into Bitcoin so that we can start to affect the change that we want to see in society. That's what I would say.
Apart from the division that we're seeing amongst different communities, I think another obstacle that is standing in front of us is the lack of education here.
Yeah, we also talked about how education is critical.
Education.
We talked a little bit about financial illiteracy and how...
But let's go back to that because we did talk about it, but we didn't save it.
We didn't save it.
We didn't save it.
Yeah.
You know, education, and I myself have been in this field of education now for over a decade, by the way. I have a history of a background on pedagogy, on curriculum, on state standards. And what I got from this, all my years of education is social control. There is a lack, and I want to say it's done on purpose, there is a lack of financial literacy.
Yeah.
And I think we do this in all of the state schools. And I want to say even some of the top private schools.
Yeah.
We do not teach our youth anything to do with finances, the economy.
We also don't teach them history.
Yes.
So
social studies and social sciences, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I can speak on the US. We do a horrible job. In fact, in my day, social science was taught by the PE teacher.
But I guess if you want an obedient, easy to control population, you don't want to teach them those things.
And again, it goes back to the goal of education, social control.
Yeah.
So when I speak to people and I mention Bitcoin, it's a common thing. I don't understand it. It's too complicated. What is it? Is it the dollar? Is it not the dollar? And of course, are we really surprised that the masses do not understand Bitcoin? If they don't even understand their own history?
Right.
If they go through this education system that at best it's just a factory?
It's not surprising. It's just sad.
So I think one of the goals for the community should be we need to educate.
Yes.
And
we talked about so what are we going to do about that? So how can we fix that problem? And I said that the burden falls on all of us who have come to understand these things. And it's up to us to go back and help people understand it. It's very similar to a slave being able to get their freedom. And who's going to help the rest of the slaves? Is you have to go back. You have to build an underground railroad. You have to go back and emancipate these people. And the burden falls on the ones that are free.
Yeah.
The responsibility is on us, on all of us. If you're listening to this podcast, now the responsibility is yours too. And this only by doing this and doing it in a collective fashion are we really going to affect societal change at a world level.
You do see pockets of this happening, but it's not enough. It's not enough to create that change that we want, to create that paradigm shift.
Yeah.
You know, we have it there.
It's not enough, but it can snowball into what we need.
Yes.
You know, it could turn into the avalanche of change that we all pray for.
And that's why education is key. It's central to this. This needs to happen. And it's up to us because we cannot leave it to the state.
Right.
We cannot leave it to the
system is not going to change itself.
Yes.
You know, the system has no interest in that. So it's up to everybody that has already gotten out of the system and understands the alternative to go back and help everybody who's still stuck in it.
So let's talk about today's podcast.
Okay. Oh my God. All right. Okay.
We are ready. There is enough storage.
Okay.
Let's start.
All right. Let's do
Today's
it.
podcast, Building During the Bear. Well, it has been an interesting week here at BrainYield. We have grown to over 3,000 followers. Thank you so much to every single person out there who has liked our tweets, who has shared them, who has given us a shout out through DM saying, hey BrainYield, we love what you're building. We can't wait to see where you're at 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Also, huge shout out to Nansen's team, Nansen intern. They have been great supporting us and liking our tweets and sharing them. It really does.
And it really keeps us going.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It has literally kept us going because
it's that fuel that lights the fire in the darkness of this apocalyptic situation where we're undergoing right now.
The bear market takes away the fire. There is no monetary incentive here to build. So you're building with the idea that, hey, it might turn into something for the next board.
Yeah,
or just building for yourself.
For the passion of it. I mean, I do this for the passion of it, and I do it because if it hadn't been for other people who also did it for passion, I wouldn't be here right now.
Well, what?
So I do it. That's why I do these things.
Let's go into this week's tweet for our episode by Al Crypto Gems. And he writes, August 14th, during a bear market, you build. You invest and reassess your portfolio. During the bull run, you harvest and reap the rewards. Invest now and get rich later. You know, I'm laughing a little bit.
Why? Because you know what I'm about to say?
No.
Because it's like my 6th time delivering this line. That, guys, we have to ride out the bear so we can dance with the bull.
I've read this. Okay. I have read Al Crypto Gems quote like 4 times now.
Oh my god.
So I kind of know half of it already by memory. Maybe even the whole thing.
You don't even have to look at your notes anymore. What is it that Crypto Gem said? What was it?
During a bear market, you build, you invest, you reassess your portfolio.
Yeah. And
you really do. Building, though, takes many different shapes and forms here. Because I want to say to you, if you think building is just a podcast, no, not necessarily.
Or developing, you know, or working on a project on the developer side. I mean, no.
Building means whatever it takes for you not to leave this space. If it means you're going to get a job in cryptocurrency, if it means you're going to build your own community,
sure,
you're going to create a podcast,
or you're going to dedicate yourself to educating yourself on these topics, that's building too.
Mind, body, soul, baby.
Mind, body, and soul. You got to be fully committed here in this crypto thing, okay? Or we're not going to make it, all right?
So picking up those books even, and you know what? If this means that you're going to build for yourself so that you can find that gem, you can find the next chain link to make those life-changing gains, that's also part of building.
Yeah.
This is a time, and not financial advice here. Don't bet the farm. Don't bet the farm.
Yeah.
But take this time where there isn't that much noise to do that research, to do that due diligence.
This is the time to commit yourself to that mission.
Yeah.
But you have to be involved now when no one else is.
You have been involved in several bear markets now.
Yeah. Oh, we also talked about how it takes a couple of cycles for crypto to really like change your life.
Yeah.
And that's
which I was going to get to. Yeah. I know you have been in many bear cycles now. What 3 tips can you give the audience on how to survive a bear market and what you should be doing during this bear market? Wait, I'm sorry, it's too much. What 3 tips will you give the audience on what you should be doing during the bear market?
I think the number 1 thing you should be doing is learning. If you've already gone past the part where you've learned enough, then you should build something. And then the 3rd thing you should do is like engage the community, become part of a community, or start your own and start to spread the good word. That's what I think are the top 3 things that people in the space should do during these times.
If you're not part of a community, build a community. Because community, I say this time and time again, is everything. They are the ones that you don't only go to for investment advice, but you can also go to for just to have someone to listen to you when you're going through the ups and downs of being a lifelong investor, being a lifelong crypto investor, Bitcoin investor. This is not an easy ride. This is to stay in a bear market and to build during a bear market, you need the support system.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, again, as we said, you find it and you build around it.
Yes. And if you don't have that, it's just going to greatly diminish your chance of success.
And just to give you guys a perspective of how difficult it is to build during a bear, let's look back into, what just happened right now. We have Celsius a few months back freezing its customers' funds due to liquidity crisis. 3 Arrows Capital, insolvency issues. We have companies, I want to say Crypto.com, Coinbase laying off employees. We have waves and waves of FUD, of bearish news. So the next bull cycle, when they say it was so easy, oh, you just pick a project and you hold and that's it. It really isn't easy because you're holding these bags. You are investing when the world is telling you not to invest.
Yeah.
How do you stay put with your bags, Guy?
For me, I'm not in it for the money necessarily, even though that's great. I really just want to do my part to rectify the things that I see are wrong in the world.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me. I don't expect that out of everybody.
Yeah.
But that keeps me going. That's enough for me. I do it for the passion. I do it because I know it's the right thing to do.
Damn. I do it for the Lambo.
Okay. All right.
And while we are here telling you to build and you're questioning, should I build? I just want to say BlackRock and other institutions are adopting BTC during this bear market, and it is not a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. If you want to fight Wall Street, you have to protect your Bitcoin from being taken by them. You have to, don't let them take it all. Don't let them tell you that it's not for you. Educate yourself. That's the only way to fight these people. It's through education.
Through education, through being active, through spreading the word here.
Through participation.
Yeah. Through spreading the word.
Yeah.
Collectively, we can totally make a difference, as you saw in the documentary.
Yeah. I don't know if in the first 7 minutes I probably covered that already.
Yeah.
I don't remember anymore.
I want to thank you.
But it was like, I probably already said that, but like, if we could get that type of excitement around crypto instead of something like GME, then we could really have a real revolutionary event. Yeah. Right? So...
And one of the things of doing that is just, if we can all just collectively stay and not leave during the bear, during the bull, it doesn't matter. We stay and we continue to work, to build, to spread the word. And I think if we do this, we can truly make a difference at a faster pace. Because we are moving towards that direction, I feel. But at the pace that perhaps we want to, that's only going to take, we collectively come together and we do the things that we need to do, educate, build, etc.
Yeah. We gotta stop fighting each other.
Yeah.
We have to work together. And again, like I said, I don't know if I already said it, that we have to rally around the standard. We have to pick a flag and we have to engage together under a common goal.
So with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining us on this podcast episode number 4. It's one that I'm going to remember because it has taken literally 4 different cuts.
Yeah, episode 4 took 4 separate takes.
4.
Yeah, 4.
I'll catch you on next week. Crossing my fingers that when I press stop, this is saved and recorded.
I hope so.
And bye, y'all.